Welcome to SFL Pregame Live along with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and it's time for the SFL quarterfinals. Mike, how you doing this afternoon?
Playoff weekend.
Absolutely. We've got two great games on the docket this afternoon and then two tomorrow. 8 teams remain and 4 kick off today. We start with the defending champs, Mike. Baltimore will host Lone Star, a rematch of Week 10 that already had to be replayed a second time because of a power outage. Baltimore won the game narrowly. Later on, Vancouver hosts Fort Worth. But first, Mike, Lone Star tries to advance to the semifinals for the first time in their glory history.
Cam, we have a great matchup today, and as well we should, being that this is the final 8 teams, we're in the quarterfinals. And as you mentioned, Baltimore did win a close one-possession game just a few weeks ago. And we'll start off, covering Lone Star. Ace Fennick, he struggled in that game with 5 interceptions, but he does lead the league with 25 touchdown passes as far as tied for the league. Lone Star's going to depend a lot on their running back, Ike McBride. She has 90 receptions on the season, and she also leads this team in rushing with over 90 yards per game on that rushing attack. So look for Lone Star to feed her early and often. And when they don't feed her, look for them to strike deep with wide receivers Greg Soto, Deuce Fennick, and Dave Axis. These guys like to air it out and go deep. So when they're not pounding it with Ike, look for them to go deep. On the other hand, Baltimore, these guys are led by quarterback Jack Wigmore. He leads the league in actual passing attempts on the season, over 560 passing attempts for this team. But I would like to see this team get their star running back, T.R. Gain, involved in this game plan today. He's, Cam, on his career average, he's about 500 yards less this season than what his career average is. But on defense for these guys, they're gonna want to put the same pressure on Ace this game. And on defense, look for Troy Loshaw, who leads the team with 12 interceptions, and Giovanni Boat with 7 to put pressure on the passing game of Lone Star. And Cam, I kind of feel like this game is going to come down to special teams. These guys are they're pretty much evenly matched. Look for Giovanni Boat also in the kick game. A play here or there may make a difference, and maybe this non-contract kicker for Lone Star may come in today. If the drive stalls out, maybe a few yards out of his range, that may make a difference in how this game comes out.
Bolt and King Seed electrifying in that special teams game. Lone Star's got something to prove today, but so does Baltimore. They did win the community poll, but a lot of people out there feeling like, hey, Lone Star's kind of coming in the hotter team in this game, and they really made Baltimore work for that victory 3 weeks ago. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, Baltimore, Cam, has been struggling down the stretch. They're only 3-3, but these are defending champs. We don't look for them to go out, quietly. Lone Star's, been one of the hotter teams in the league. I think they only lost out of the 5 of the last 6 has come to Baltimore. So, hey, it's going to be an interesting matchup. Like I said, both teams are pretty much evenly matched on both sides of the ball. It's going to be an interesting game today.
This is the 6th meeting between these two teams. All of them have come in Baltimore, coincidentally enough, as Lone Star has moved around the league, but has found stability here in Denton, Texas, and will be taking on the defending champions coming up next. At the half, we will have an interview with the tight end of Baltimore, one of their star tight ends, Jay Hayden. Don't miss out on that. And then Vancouver and Fort Worth coming up later today. For now, we send a commercial break. Michael Turillo and Benji Matson have the call from Vultures Field when we return. This is the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports.
levels.
This is the location, and the Simulation Football League quarterfinals are the occasion. Live from Vultures Field in Baltimore, Maryland, it's the quarterfinal matchup between the Lone Star Glory and the Baltimore Vultures. The Vultures are the SFL's defending champions, in with a record of 8-4, seeded directly into the quarterfinals. But the Lone Star Glory are really itching to get back to the semifinals where their franchise has been 2 times before. They have won 6 of the last 7 and have a ridiculous winning streak. But Benji Madsen, who is my broadcast partner, the last team to beat this Lone Star Glory, Baltimore Vultures, back in Week 10.
Absolutely. Good afternoon, Michael. Glad to be here with you this afternoon. That is right, Week 10 of this season, the Baltimore Vultures, the defending champions, knocked off the Lone Star Glory in the midst of that run at the end of the season to make the playoffs. They're firing on all cylinders until they ran into a Vultures squad looking to tune things up to make another playoff run. Lone Star Glory managed to sneak into the playoffs, captured that 8th seed, won a fantastic matchup last week against Jacksonville, and here they are, ready to stake their claim among the top teams in the SFL, and they need to get past the Vultures today in order to do that. I can't wait to see how this one unfolds today. It's going to be a great one, no matter how you slice it and dice it. Vultures, Glory, let's get it started.
The visiting Lone Star Glory in the red helmets, white jerseys, red numbers, red pants with blue and white trim. The hometown team, the Baltimore Vultures, they got the ball first wearing white helmets, black jerseys, white pants, white numbers with red and black trim. Kick it! We're underway as Baltimore takes it from the 10-yard line. And they will start at the 31. Here is the starting offense for the Baltimore Vultures, the number 3 seed in the Simulation Football League playoffs. Their quarterback is second-season player Jack Wingmore, won a championship in his first season, looking to do it again. T-Roy Gaines is the running back, Ivory Irvin, Daley Holder, and Mac Chima the wide receivers. Jay Hayden, who we'll have an interview with at halftime, and Lloyd Graham Jr. are the tight ends. On 1st and 10, it's offset eye. The left-handed Wingmore stands in the pocket, floats it out to T-Roy Gaines, and he'll lose a yard and without being able to turn upfield. Here's the starting defense for Lone Star, the number 8 seed. Jukin Rukin, Al Lewis, Hugo Reynosa, and Yogi Barr are on the defensive line. Linebackers Brian Craven and Freddie Tremble. Corners Mickey McGuire and Bo Martin Jr. And safeties Evan Lacey, Doug Day, and Lincoln Kingseed. Taken down at 11, Wingmore floats it out to Gaines again, makes one man miss, tries to get a spin move, but he cannot escape the waiting arms of William McGonigal, and it'll be 3rd and 8.
Vultures coming into this game had a week off, of course, a little bye. It'll be interesting to see how that week off affected them. Are they going to come out on fire? Are they going to be energetic? Or is it going to take them a while to get things started? Early in this game here, let's look and see how things unfold.
Wingmore unloads, and behind the defense is Daley Holder, and he's going to take it all the way. 3 plays, touchdown, Baltimore.
Coming in hot right there. They are fired up, I guess you'd say, ready to go. Daley Holder on the reception from Jack Wigmore. Early strike by Vultures, 6-zip. That's how you start a quarterfinal playoff game, Michael.
Yep, soften them up with 3 short plays, and then boom, over the top of the defense, take the lid off it right then and there, and Daley Holder scampers away for his 4th touchdown of the season, and Baltimore goes up on top within the opening 2 minutes.
I was getting ready to talk about Baltimore coming into this game. We saw the first 2 plays go to T-Roy Gaines. I was about ready to say how the Baltimore is going to be making sure that they get T-Roy Gaines involved in this game today. A little dink and a little dunk. Play 1, play 2, and boom, Jack Wigmore catches Lone Star Glory napping for the big bomb. 6-zip.
Tarkington, the kicker for Baltimore, puts the extra point up and through. 10 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the first. Baltimore 7, Lone Star Glory nothing. And I think the most important thing for Lone Star is you can't panic just yet. It's only a minute gone by. Yes, your defense just gave up a big play, but it's time for your offense to come out there and show what they got.
Absolutely, Michael. We're just 2 minutes into this game. Well, 1 minute into this game. Lone Star Glory can't get down about this. We've got an entire game to play here, and you know they're ready to make some waves.
We could expect this game to be a high-scoring one. As we look at the defensive statistics for both of these teams this season. A little bit all over the place, but that top 6 in points allowed and second in turnovers forced, the standout numbers for Baltimore.
Absolutely. Very opportunistic, vulturistic defense Baltimore has. I think the difference in those two stats there, Baltimore wants to turn you over and capitalize on turnovers, where Lone Star Glory just kind of wants to make life difficult for you on the defensive end.
Ike McBride on the carry, wrapped up and dropped by Tucker Lewis. Here's the starting offense for Lone Star. Ace Fennick is their quarterback. Ike McBride, the running back. Cameron Collier, the fullback. Greg Soto, Dave Axis, and Deuce Fennick are the wide receivers. Adam Williams at tight end. It's second down at 11 after the opening run. Defensive line shift, 7 of the box for Baltimore. They'll rush 4 over the top, and a nice completion to Dave Axis out near midfield, and Lone Star has a long first down.
Right back at you, Ace Fennick says here, getting up off the bench, getting into this game for the first time. Quick strike here to Dave Axis, one of the talented weapons on the outside for Lone Star Glory. Won't be the first time we talk about Dave Axis and this crew today.
Definitely not. 1st and 10. Soft zone over the middle to Axis again. Breaks a tackle and rumbles into Baltimore territory. That is the tight end, Adam Williams, a very threatening tight end at that. His 5 touchdowns on the season, his second on the team.
Adam Williams is an excellent tight end, a huge target across the middle for Ace Fennick, coming in at 6'6" and 280 pounds. The second season tight end is an all-star caliber tight end for the Glory.
Well, I'll tell you what, this Baltimore defense has stuffed the run game so far. 2 runs, -2 yards for Ike McBride. Here is the defensive unit for Baltimore. Nate Brown, Saron Yates, Tucker Lewis, and Al Walker on the defensive line. Frank Smith, Alvin Mack, and Nolan Pierce at linebacker. Ben Stackenpaper, Marvin Himes, and Austin Brigham at cornerback. Giovanni Bolt and Troy LaShaw at safety. That ball is tipped up in the air. It's still there to be won, and it eventually hits the turf and will be 3rd down at 11.
That's a dangerous pass there. Ace Fennick going into traffic, but that ball just bounces up and around. Very lucky that that does not wind up being intercepted. One of the keys to the game today, I believe, is Ace Fennick, the star quarterback for Lone Star Glory, staying clean in the pocket, avoiding pressure, and holding on to the ball for the Lone Star Glory. Don't throw interceptions today. That's one of the keys to this game for Lone Star.
Oh, look out. Nowhere to go with the football, and down goes Ace Fennick. First sack of the game for Baltimore, and it will end a promising Lone Star drive. Al Walker back there for his 8th sack of the year.
A great pressure up front by Al Walker across the board on this defensive line for the Vultures. They've been making hay this season, putting pressure on the quarterback. There they sacked Ace Fennick, and that's not the worst output there if you're a Lone Star Glory. It was 3rd and long. You took a sack. You didn't turn the ball over. Now you have the opportunity to pin them deep, get this defense back out on the field.
And pin them deep they do, as that ball's going to sit at the 4-yard line. Excellent punt coverage by William Zuderfeld, the punter, and Lincoln Kingseed, the gunner. And Baltimore will be backed up in the shadow of their own end zone to start their second drive. Didn't hurt them on the first time, as they went 3 plays, 67 yards, and a touchdown.
Yeah, fast strike. Interesting to see what happens now. Lone Star Glory, that was definitely a wake-up call for this defense. They're not going to want to let Jack Wigmore take the top off again. So you know that's in the back of their minds now as they come out on the second drive.
Leroy Gaines in the I formation. Look out. It's close to a safety. It is a safety. Lone Star gets it right back. One play. Huge safety.
Looks like Al Lewis getting pressure right up the middle. Brings down Jack Wigmore for the safety. Al Lewis out of New York. Third season in the league. They call him Wrecking Crew, and that's exactly what he did just then. First points on the board for Lone Star, and it comes by virtue of the defense. Well played there by Al Lewis on that defensive tackle spot.
Lewis, a third season veteran, played his first season in Denver and now has spent 2 seasons in Denton, Texas with the Lone Star Glory, who have 2 points and the football as Lincoln Kingseed takes it to the 40-yard line. So how games can swing, Benji. We say it often in our broadcast, balanced on a knife's edge. Just when you thought Baltimore had a big advantage, big touchdown, big stop, one play is all it takes for Lone Star to get back into this one.
One play, big plays. And I have a feeling the way this thing is starting today, we're going to see a bunch of big plays out there on the field.
Ike McBride just has not gotten going yet as Frank Smith drags her down for no gain. So that's 3 runs and -2 yards for Ike McBride so far. Glory have another talented runner in Cameron Collier, the fullback, who has 4 touchdowns on the season from his position behind McBride. Fennick, strike over the middle. That pass is caught by Adam Williams, and it's going to be 3rd down and 5. Ace Fennick leads the league in passing touchdowns with 25, and one of the few quarterbacks to have a positive touchdown-interception ratio. 25 touchdowns, 22 interceptions.
Yeah, Ace Fennick, sophomore season, he's played great for Lone Star. Really slinging it, gets this ball out to all his playmakers. Looking to do the same thing today.
And he does it again. Into Baltimore territory in traffic. And a 1st down for Lone Star. Looks like that's Dave Axis. Oh, no, that's Adam Williams again. Number 86, clearly the favorite target so far for Fennick. Of course, he's got his brother Deuce Fennick out there as well, wearing number 81.
Yeah, and we'll touch on it as this game unfolds. Ace to Deuce was a big combo in this Week 10 matchup when Lone Star lost to Baltimore. Expect to see more of the same today for the Glory.
Dave Axis out route for 8 yards. Nice tackle by Ben Stackenpaper. This Baltimore defense, and more specifically the secondary, has been one of the best ball-hawking secondaries I've seen in my time with the SFL. 34 interceptions and 4 pick sixes.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like a magnet, this ball. These vultures are just drawn to it. Or I should say this ball seems to find its way into the hands of these vultures. They're really good in that secondary.
Another nice underneath pass to Williams, and a 1st down for Lone Star all the way up to the Baltimore 34.
And this is a great pickup here by Ace Fennick. Yeah, maybe the run game is struggling here early, but a short toss out in the flat to your huge tight end, that's just a long handoff right there. So you use that short passing game to your advantage. Baltimore is really stiffening up here, not allowing anything on the ground up the middle early. But you see Ace Fennick going short to his tight end, picks up the 1st down. Just another long handoff there for Ace.
Dumbling back out of bounds is Axis. He makes the catch. And a couple of numbers that I wanted to bring up in quarterback comparison. Jack Wigmore has thrown the most number of pass attempts this season with 564. But Ace Fennick has the 3rd highest number of completions at 369. So it's volume against accuracy.
Absolutely. And I think a little bit to dive into that just a little bit further, Jack Wigmore has been slinging it this year, but consequently, or maybe it's because of, Baltimore's had a really hard time getting started on the ground all season long. Their star running back, Leroy Gaines, has not had the usual production this season that he's used to in the past, and so I think they've had to rely on Jack Wigmore and that volume, Michael, to keep themselves in these games and win them.
Oh, look out. Take it off and run. We got a running quarterback, and Ace Fenech has a first down to the Baltimore 23. That's a little bit of improvisation for you.
He's been known to do that before. He's selling out today. He wants a playoff victory here in Baltimore for the Lone Star Glory. Ace Fenech willing to do whatever it takes and put his body on the line.
Approaching the red zone now, down by 5, 7-2. Fenech short drop, and the ball goes caroming off of a helmet in that scrum and will drop incomplete, 2nd and 10.
Good pressure there by Nolan Pierce, actually the outside linebacker. Gets in, puts that pressure on Ace. Ace tries to step up, but just that pocket collapses on him too fast. But great pressure there by Nolan Pierce out of West Virginia, 2nd season in the SFL with the Baltimore Vultures.
Yeah, Baltimore has a lot of 2nd and 3rd season players on this roster. They really built this roster from scratch when they became the Vultures after being the Baltimore Crabs for many years and then ceasing operations for a bit. There's a floater to the far side, finds Greg Soto. His first catch of the game sets up a 3rd and 2.
Yeah, great play actually here by Ace. Baltimore runs a delayed blitz. They get to Ace, and he's able to sling that thing just before he's impacted by the defender. Makes that strike out to the sideline, puts it in the only spot Greg Soto can catch it. That was a great play by Lone Star there.
3-step drop, fires to the corner, and it's caught at the 10-yard line. 1st and goal. There's Adam Williams again.
Yeah, this is a great sign for Lone Star Glory, getting their big tight end involved early. Things go right. Things go well for Lone Star when Ace Fenech is able to spread this ball around. Right now, we see his QBR is way up there, and he's finding one of his favorite targets, Big Adam Williams, across the middle. This is a great start for Ace and the team on offense.
Look out, going towards the end zone, and it's batted away by linebacker Frank Smith. Has 11 passes defended, now 12 on the season, which is very high for an inside linebacker.
Absolutely, but this Vultures defense, they're circling, they're swarming, they're everywhere. Again, they're just opportunistic. They seem to always be putting themselves in the right position at the right time to make big plays.
They're going to go from the 10. 5-step drop. Look out, going down is Ace Fenech as Nate Brown races back there for a sack, and it's 3rd and goal.
Defensive end Nate Brown, another 2nd season player for the Vultures here on the defensive line, gets his 5th sack of the season. Just gets into that offensive lineman, gets leverage, cuts underneath him, and is able to get to Ace and bring him down. Baltimore making life difficult for the Lone Star Glory inside the red zone.
Now 3rd and goal, all the way back up just past the 16-yard line. In the gun is Fenech. He's going to laser it towards the end zone, and it's picked off. Baltimore takes it away at the most inopportune moment for Lone Star, and there will be no points for you on this drive. Austin Brigham with his 8th interception of the season.
Yeah, 3rd and long here inside the red zone. Ace Fenech taking a shot into the end zone. Has his man initially on that inside cut there, but man, the Vultures, we just talked about them being in the right spot at the right time. That's a great example. Austin Brigham makes a great play on the ball, undercuts that route, and picks that one off. Saves the day for the Vultures.
Interception number 35 for the Baltimore defense this season. Oh, look out! Wingmore gave it right back, and it's a touchdown for Lincoln Kingseed. Oh, how the tables turn so quickly, and it's a Lone Star Glory lead.
Wow, Lincoln Kingseed, a veteran presence, a leader in this Lone Star Glory secondary, has been doing this for a long time in the SFL, just doing what a good veteran does. He plays back, watches the eyes of Jack Wigmore, makes a great cut on this, steps right in front of Mac Chima, and takes this one into the end zone. That's just what you expect from one of your veteran leaders in that defensive secondary. That was an incredible play by Lincoln Kingseed, and just like that, the Glory take the lead.
I can use one word to sum up this first quarter for the Lone Star Glory, and that is opportunistic. They went down early. Baltimore had a big play on their opening drive to take the lead. Then Lone Star went 3 and out. They punted it away, but they pinned Baltimore at the 4-yard line. One play later, they got a safety and the ball back, and then they give it away again with an untimely interception to the end zone. Very next play, Lincoln Kingseed says, "I'll have that," and runs it in for a pick 6, and it's a 9-7 Lone Star lead.
Definitely feel like the momentum now sitting with Lone Star Glory. And you know they've got to be thankful for that here, playing on the road against the defending champs. They will take it. It's a hot start for the Glory. Now this defense comes back on the field. And you know Jack Wigmore and their talented squad of playmakers on their offensive side of the ball is going to be ready. They're ready for this challenge today. It's kind of just early stages of a slugfest here. Two prize fighters kind of feeling each other out, just waiting to strike, land that big right hook.
Giovanni Bolt brings it up to the 30. Nice return for him. Now let's see if Baltimore can get a little bit of a drive going, get some consistency back. Wingmore to the corner, and it's a diving first down by Lloyd Graham Jr., a tight end that I think doesn't get enough love in the overall just sort of grand scheme of things. If you talk about tight end power rankings in this league, because everybody thinks of, Adam Williams, Mike Daggs. Yeah, Lloyd Graham Jr. is up there. He's got almost 700 yards this season and 5 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's been a steady rock for Baltimore for a long time. He gets the job done. He's like a lunch pail tight end, and he's one of Jack Wigmore's favorite receivers.
Yogi Barr, big stop there, holding T-Roy Gaines to 1 yard. Barr, a 3-season veteran, played 1 season with Charleston and now 2 out in Texas. 2nd and 9. Under center goes Wingmore. 3-step drop, gonna fire it out to T-Roy Gaines. Gaines makes one man miss, but is gang tackled at the 45-yard line, gain of 4, and another 3rd down coming up for Baltimore. And I think the inability to get T-Roy Gaines going means that the Lone Star defense can really cue in on Wingmore and try and bat away some of those passes.
Yeah, I think that's definitely a key that Lone Star Glory may have been looking at as they've studied film from Baltimore in their late season schedule. They're just having difficulty getting the ball to T-Roy Gaines and getting him involved on the ground.
Well, it was offsides on Lone Star, so it would have been a 1st down anyway, but I think they'll take the yards. Nice pitch and catch to Mac Chima into Lone Star territory.
Great pass over the middle. Mac Chima is another one of these talented receivers that Jack Wigmore has at his disposal. And the stats that we've already talked about for Jack this season it's a representation of what they have to do on offense to win these games. If they can't get anything on the ground, and especially today, it's going to be up to Jack Wigmore and these receivers and T-Roy Gaines catch the ball out of the backfield to score these points today and try and get at this Lone Star Glory defense.
Play action. Wingmore going long. Wingmore caught at the 10 and racing to the end zone. Touchdown Mac Chima and touchdown Baltimore. Oh, they got the long ball working on a Saturday afternoon on the East Coast.
Might as well call Mac Chima mac and cheese, because that's so good right there, right over the top. Again, a big strike from Jack Wigmore to Mac Chima. 3rd season player, always in the right spot at the right time. 6th touchdown of the season. Another one of these big weapons comes up huge for Baltimore.
And on for his 2nd extra point of the game is Shark Tarkington. Baltimore, with under a minute to go in the 1st quarter, takes the lead again. We were talking about excitement factor in our pregame meeting a little bit ago. And you think this has lived up to the expectations so far?
Oh, absolutely. I say buckle up. Buckle in, everyone. I think we're only getting started here today. This is going to be a barn burner. I've got a sneaking suspicion.
We potentially have 3 more quarters of this. If you're new to the SFL, the Simulation Football League combines traditional sports, esports, and role-playing games all into one. Team strategies are being executed in real time by our simulations as real-life players compete on the virtual gridiron. For more information about the Simulation Football League, visit our website at www.simulationfl.net. the SFL. We put the fan in fantasy.
Woo! Had to catch my breath there for a little bit.
I know. I was just getting ready to mention that we have not seen the best receiver for Baltimore, Ivory Irvin, yet. Doesn't have a target, doesn't have a catch. But we'll get back to him next time Baltimore has the ball. Lone Star has it now. Down 14-9, and Ike McBride continues to get no love on the ground. It's going to have to be an aerial contest today, the way both of these defensive lines are playing.
And if that's the case, both quarterbacks are here for it. They're here for it. These are two gunslingers. They've brought their teams into the playoffs by playing this fearless style, going down the field with the ball. So if they can't run it today, I think they're ready to win it with their arms.
McBride again, this time gets back to the line of scrimmage and falls forward for 1 yard. Well, what a barn burner of a start. It's Lone Star 9, Baltimore 14. We'll take a break and be right back. This is the Simulation Football League quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. Welcome back to Vultures Field in Baltimore, Maryland. The Baltimore Vultures lead the Lone Star Glory 14-9 for 11 minutes on the second quarter clock. And we're underway. Ace Fennick into traffic and a first down up to the 37. My name is Michael Tremillo. Benji Matson is alongside me. Stephen Hacker is on stats, and Mike St. Green and Cameron Irvine are in the studio preparing for halftime. They will have a lot to talk about because a lot went on just in that first quarter, Benji.
Absolutely. We put in an order for some oxygen. Should be delivered here soon to the booth. We might need it here. Just a second quarter. We've seen it all already. Now Ace Fennick back on the field. Pretty good field position here to start. See if he can lead this team down the field.
From under center, gonna lob it down the field, tipped and incomplete. Excellent defense by Marvin Himes. We mentioned right off the top that the last team to beat this Lone Star Glory team was Baltimore back in Week 10. They won 24-16, and not helped by the fact that Lone Star committed 6 turnovers.
No, 6 turnovers, including 5 interceptions by Ace Fennick. Yet, they only lost by 8 to the defending champions there in that Week 10. So I don't know if it's possible to feel good about a loss like that. But here, Lone Star Glory is in the playoffs now against this same team just a few weeks later. Yeah, they've had some issues on defense with that long ball from Jack Wigmore, but they're right in this thing. They feel confident. They feel like they've got a chance in this one today.
Still, Lone Star can't get the running game going. That time they tried with Cameron Collier, got back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Here's a 3rd and 10. Fennick going long, and it's interception. Number 2, running back down the sideline is Austin Brigham, and he's gonna score. We have 2 pick sixes in the first half, and Brigham has 2 interceptions on the day.
That's incredible. Second interception return touchdown on the season for Austin Brigham. Just takes this one away from Greg Soto and takes it back to the house. The Glory cannot catch him. He's just got a knack for this right here. And here you see Lone Star Glory just cannot catch him. Austin Brigham, 9th interception on the season. He was already 18th in the league in interceptions coming into this game. So he is moving up the charts. That's a huge play for the Vultures right there by the 2nd season cornerback.
I was wondering if Lone Star was going to challenge the fact that Brigham stepped out of bounds after he caught that ball, but it looks like they're not going to challenge it. The extra point is slow to get off from Tarkington, but it's good, and it's 21-9, and maybe the most wacky start to a ball game that I can remember.
Absolutely, and here we see it's Baltimore right now that's making all the big plays. 2 long touchdown scores from Jack Wigmore. A pick 6 here by this defense. Yes, granted, Lone Star did have the pick 6 of their own, but right now, momentum has swung back to this Vulture side, and now as Ace and the team comes back out on the field, I think Coach is probably telling them, don't press too hard here. We can't afford another turnover and to go down another score here in this game.
For all the good Lone Star did in that first half, all their scoring came from their defense. They got the safety and then the pick 6. The offense really didn't do much except go down the field and throw an interception in the end zone.
Yeah, that's very true. That's a good point. The offense moved, but then didn't have that costly turnover in the end zone. Another big play there by the Vultures when they needed to make one.
Free play here for Lone Star. It's going to be deflected and incomplete. We'll give them a free 5 yards on the offsides. Next Saturday, the semifinals kick off on Next Level Sports. Coverage starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. The winner of this game, Baltimore Lone Star, will play the winner of Florida and Las Vegas. And on the other side of the bracket, it's Arizona and Denver and Fort Worth versus Vancouver. The winners of those 2 games will clash. The SFL on Next Level Sports. We put the fan in fantasy. And also, you'll want to stick around for halftime for the preview of the game coming up between Vancouver and Fort Worth. Talk about the exact opposite of the game we've got going on right now. Those 2 teams just love to run the ball down your throat.
Absolutely. Run the ball, play good defense, especially if you're Fort Worth.
Up the middle and first down. That's the first positive carry for the first carry for either running back that has gone more than 1 yard in the ball game as Ike McBride picks up the fresh set of downs.
And even though they're having just extreme difficulty running the ball, I still think it's important that they try and stick with it. They're doing the right thing here. Don't abandon the run yet in this game.
Low, that was close to being another pick 6 as it's in and out of the hands of Alvin Mack. 2nd down and 10 for Lone Star. They are flying by the skin of their teeth. There's a little mixed metaphor for you for a Saturday afternoon.
It looks like right now Ace is a little rattled. He did not make a good read on that throw. Started the game off really firing the ball out there quickly. He was very decisive, getting the ball into the hands of his playmakers on the outside. But here, all of a sudden, a little shaky. That was a dangerous throw into a Vulture's waiting arms there.
2nd down and 10 into the flat for Soto. Gang tackle. There's Troy Loshaw and Marvin Himes out there. Sets up a 3rd and 3.
And that's a great completion, easy completion there to make. You take the easy 5-yard out there, get the ball in the hands of Greg Soto, see if you can make something happen on the outside. That was a win there. Sets up a 3rd and short. Now your playbook's open. You can go anywhere here. We see we see Adam Williams on camera. Maybe they know something we don't just yet. Look for your big tight end for this first down here.
3rd and 3 from the 43. It's going to be a handoff, and Ike McBride gets absolutely crushed after a 1-yard gain. Huge hit by Alvin Mack, and the punting unit comes out for Lone Star.
Alvin Mack hit like McBride like a Mack truck on that one. Alvin Mack is one of the league leaders in tackles. 120 coming into the game today, was good for 4th in the league for tackles. He is just aware at all times where that ball is and just made a fantastic tackle there. Stopped him short of the first down.
William Zuderfeld last time pinned Baltimore inside the 5 that led to the safety. This time Giovanni Bolt brings it up to the 18, and Lone Star has some work to do defensively. We know that they've given up 2 long touchdowns, can't really afford to go down 3 scores even though it's the first half.
Yeah, with the difficulty both teams have had running the ball, if you're Lone Star, just play back and do not let anything behind you. And if Baltimore, just let them try and run the ball right now. Just don't let anything behind you.
They're going to try and run the ball, but same old story for T-Roy Gaines as he only gets 1 yard. Baltimore started really hot. 5-1, looked like they were going to walk away with the number 1 overall seed, but then 3-3 over the final 6 weeks. Secured a bye with the last-second touchdown in the final game of the season, and this is their 6th consecutive playoff appearance for Thomas Patinetti and Tim Johnston, the owners for Baltimore. Wingmore with a big lefty looping pass is caught, and there's the first time we've seen Ivory Irvin, a 1K receiver with 8 touchdowns on the season.
And that's the danger that comes with playing back a little bit. We just maybe mentioned maybe this would be a good time for Lone Star to play off the ball a little bit. And what does Jack Wigmore do? But gets the ball into the hands of Ivory Irvin. 108 receptions this season, 109 last year. He's just a magnet. Both led the SFL. Those numbers did. He is just incredible, and he's having another all-star season. And he is Jack Wigmore's number 1 target here on this team.
Both of the Baltimore wide receivers that are not Irvin have big touchdowns. And here's out of the backfield, T-Roy Gaines. Look out. He's got the legs churning and a big first down inside Lone Star territory.
Great job here by Baltimore to get T-Roy Gaines involved. If your star is having trouble running the ball between the tackles, find a way to get him involved. Get him the swing pass, which they did right out here in space, and let him make some moves. He is too talented to not be utilized in this game today, even if Baltimore's having difficulty running the ball. So that's a great call there at the right time. Get your playmakers the ball out in space and let them make things happen.
The other thing I loved about that last play was Lloyd Graham Jr., the tight end, throwing a huge block to spring Gaines on the outside. Now inside Lone Star territory, they're going to give it to Gaines on the opposite side of the field. This time the defense is ready for it, and Bo Martin wrestles him down after a gain of 2.
And Lone Star is continuing to be difficult here, or careful here, I should say. Baltimore comes out, running heavy formation. Lone Star coming out nickel. They are a little bit frazzled on the defensive side, too. They are careful. They do not want to give anything up over their heads for another easy score right now to Jack Wigmore.
Low snap. Wingmore corrals it, rifles it downfield. Diving catch inside the 5. They're going to spot him back at the 8. Daly Holder showing off the athleticism, and Baltimore are in business again.
Yeah, he makes it look so easy right there. Catching that ball as he's going to the ground. 88 yards on 2 receptions for Daly Holder. Of course, he had that big bomb early in the first quarter to kind of start the scoring here for Baltimore. And just like that, they are striking, and they are inside the 10-yard line with Lone Star Glory backed up. If now's the time to make a play, if you're Lone Star Glory on defense.
Where will the Vultures go? They're going to go to the air. Wingmore moves in the pocket and delivers an absolute laser cannon to Ivory Irvin in the back of the end zone. Touchdown, Baltimore.
9th touchdown of the season for Ivory Irvin. They call the man Willie Clutch. He's just been doing it in and out for a couple seasons now for Baltimore, and he just makes it look so easy. That was a great connection. Jack Wigmore didn't break a sweat on that one. He just dropped right back and knew where he was going with that ball the entire time. And just like that, Baltimore is starting to seize control of this game.
Well, if the first quarter was highly competitive and close, Baltimore has said, enough of that. We're racing away with this one. And they've jumped out to a 28-9 lead, a 14-point swing, and overall a 21-point swing after going down 9-7 midway through the first quarter.
For a lot of teams, at this moment in this game, you would start to get down and feel like the deck is just stacked against you. But Lone Star Glory know a thing or two about playing in a game like this. They've made a couple big comebacks this season, including one against Queen City earlier. They are not out of this game yet, but they do need to start trying something new here. They got to figure something else out on offense starting right now.
Well, it's not outside the realm of possibility. Lone Star's offense averages 28.7 points per game.
And with 5.5 plus minutes on the clock, plenty of time for a great drive here. Put a touchdown on the board, and you're right back in this thing as you head into halftime.
Over the middle, complete to Greg Soto. One more thing I'll say about the scoring. Last week against Jacksonville in the wild card game, they won with 32 points. Then in the last two games of the regular season against Fort Worth and Queen City, they scored 44 and 35. So the offense can put up big numbers. It's really going to be on the defense now for Lone Star. There's no room for error anymore.
No, absolutely not. They got to play a picture-perfect game here starting right now.
Mike McBride breaks through the initial tackle, but is eventually put down by Austin Brigham. And it is 2nd and 6.
Mike McBride carried the ball 10 times for 10 yards in their Week 10 matchup. So even in that game there, they couldn't get anything going on the ground as well. They're continuing to go back to Ike, hoping they can get something started. They're managing some clock here. Oh, free play.
Free play. They're going to go to McBride again. They're going to be 2 yards short of a first down, so they'll accept the penalty. McBride, on the season, this is before today's game, 906 yards rushing, 427 yards passing, and 10 total touchdowns, but really not involved at all today like she would like to be involved.
Yeah, hard sledding against these Vultures right now. I'm not quite sure what they've got up their sleeve right now. 2nd and 1, pick up a first down here. The clock's moving. I think Ace and the team are trying to balance this running clock here with the need to get down the field and score.
Well, again, McBride, nowhere to go. Met in the hole by, Frank Smith. And it's 3rd down and 1.
3rd down and 1. They've tried to pick up a 3rd down conversion with Ike McBride on the ground. They didn't get it. Are they going to try the same thing here again? Look for one of your weapons. Like, try Adam Williams.
They're going to go in the slot, and Greg Soto has an acrobatic little catch as that ball was whipped in there from Fennec. But it is a first down, barely inside Baltimore territory to the 49.
It doesn't look much in the stat sheet, just goes down as a catch. But when you had to have it, Greg Soto made an incredible acrobatic catch right there. Keeps this drive alive, keeps hope alive for the Lone Star Glory.
Long handoff and tough sledding up the middle for Ike McBride.
And this clock is continuing to run now. I mean, they're still going on the ground right now. I think that's the focus on this drive. First down, get 10 yards at a time, keep the clock running.
McBride again gets 3 more, 3rd down and 6 from the 45. Well, I mentioned in the first quarter that both of these quarterbacks have a little bit different style. With Wingmore, you've got volume. With Fennec, you've got accuracy. Both of them top the career completion percentage charts among players with more than 900 passes. On third down, over the middle. Was that caught? Oh, my goodness. Oh, no, it slipped out of his hands. I thought that Greg Soto had somehow pulled that in amongst the trees.
Yeah, it looked like it there for a second. They really needed to have that one, but that was just too tough of a play to make. And here we see that stat again. These are two quarterbacks young in their careers here in the SFL. On pace to be all-stars for a long time in this league.
And the only other active quarterback on that list is Ron Cochran. But you've got names like Skeletor Funk, Rocco Marconi, just a list of all-time legends. So a good list to be on if you're Jack Wingmore and Ace Fedek only in your second season. And they spotted that inside the 1. I thought that was going to roll into the end zone, so Lone Star has the opportunity to get 2 safeties in a game.
They could really use it. They can get one here.
The ball is quickly in and out of the hands of Wingmore and to Daly Holder. We hit the 2-minute warning. It's all Baltimore all the time. They're up 28-9. Welcome back to Baltimore. Michael Tabello, Benji Matson taking you through this one. Baltimore leads Lone Star 28-9. This is 2nd down and 3 from their own 7. Wingmore, pressure in his face, gets the pass away. It's tipped and incomplete. Nice hands up there from Brian Craven to knock that one away. This will be only the 2nd 3rd down attempt for Baltimore in the game. They're 1 for 1 so far, and they have 28 points on 18 offensive plays.
Yeah, that's just crazy. I did a double take because we were listening to those stats in the break. Just a perfect start to this game for Baltimore. After a sluggish one, though. Perfect start. The rest of
More
the
on
game.
3rd down. Ivory Irvin takes the ball away from the defender. Bo Martin Jr. had his eyes on the end zone, and Irvin came up and stole it. And now Baltimore is 2 for 2 on 3rd down.
Good idea, though, for Bo Martin Jr. there. He was in position to make the play, went for it, and I think that's the right thing to do here. Baltimore's backed up. You got someone behind you that's not going to let anyone get past you, so I think that was the right thing to do there and go for that interception.
Leroy Gaines finally with a big run up the middle for 9. And only the hard hit of Lincoln King seed stops him from getting any more. Coming up on the SFL Halftime Report, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green break down the first half between the Glory and the Vultures. They sit down and get to know Baltimore tight end Jay Hayden and go over the keys to victory for the second half, as well as preview Fort Worth and Vancouver. It's all coming up on the SFL Halftime Report. Jack Wingmore is swarmed under back at the 22-yard line, and it'll set up a 3rd down and 8. Al Lewis got back there, his second sack of the game.
Yeah, that's great. And good job putting pressure on Jack Wigmore, making him take the sack. Call a timeout. Lone Star, preserve some of this clock. That's what I would do in a situation like this.
They didn't call a timeout. There's 30 seconds to go in the half. Wingmore going long, and finally Lone Star Glory has another takeaway. This time it's McGuire. Mickey McGuire racing for the goal line, and he's down at the 1. We were 1 yard away from having a 3rd pick 6 in the first half.
That's incredible. I didn't think there was any way he was going to get close, but Gunny Mickey McGuire just keeps going and going and going. And just at the end, the big fella, the lineman, brings him down right on the goal line. What a break, a tremendous break. That's a defensive stop you needed to get if you were Lone Star. Now you got the ball with a chance to go in for 6. Do you run the ball? You got your full slate of timeouts and 3 downs here to pound this one in the end zone.
It's been tough sledding for Ike McBride. They're going to go to her through the air, and she's going to walk into the end zone. Lone Star's offense finally gets going right at the end of the first half, and Lone Star has life down 28 to potentially 16 after the extra point.
That is about the most incredible turn of events you could ever imagine at the end of this half here. And this whole first half has been insane. But Lone Star Glory had to have something happen. And that was just a perfect timing of events there. That interception, the great return, and they just needed 1 yard for the score. They were able to get it. Extra point pending. They're back in this game heading into halftime.
I know that's technically an offensive touchdown, but really, McGuire did all the work there, got him out inside the 1.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd award him the pick 6 if you could. If it was in our power, we would award that one to Gunny McGuire there. The effort was fantastic. Made a huge play for his team when they needed someone to step up.
Mickey McGuire has 2 pick 6s and was a yard away from having 3. Remember, Lone Star has the ball out of halftime because Baltimore started with that 3-play, 67-yard drive to open the ball game.
It definitely causes you to pause, take a moment, and reflect. Baltimore had all of the momentum, and now just like that, Lone Star Glory right back in it. As they go into half here, you know they're going to be amped up, ready to go for the second half.
Potentially final play of the first half. It's over the middle and caught. 5 seconds to go. They're going to try and call a timeout as Baltimore and perhaps get something downfield towards the direction of the end zone with 3 seconds to go at a 16-point lead.
They call the timeout. Jack Wigmore's already slinged 2 long bombs for scores. What's the worst that could happen here? Well, I could think of something bad that could happen if you're a Baltimore. If you're choosing to go deep with this thing, just make sure you fire it away from Mickey McGuire. Don't let him get his hands on it. We'll see what they do here. Looks like they might line up to go deep with this.
Check that. Baltimore has a 12-point lead, 28 to 16. They're in the Hail Mary formation. Jack Wigmore has plenty of time in the pocket. Now the pressure collapses, and we go to halftime on a sack. That is the end of the first half. Big play by Jukin Rukin, the veteran, takes us to the break, and after we come back, it's Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green in the studio. Have fun with this madness, gentlemen. We'll see you after the halftime show. This is the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports.
Welcome to the SFL Halftime Report with Mike St. Green. I'm Cameron Irvine, and what a roller coaster of a first half we just had, Mike. Baltimore gets greedy basically at the end of the half, and that is their first failed third down of the half. Turns into an interception and then a touchdown.
Cam, I'll tell you what was crazy about this half to me. I don't think I've ever experienced a game with with such a high score, and we don't have a whole lot of offense to talk about. I mean, the defensive stars have come out tonight and today rather, and Lone Stars should be thanking King Seed, Al Lewis, and Gunny McGuire right now, because if it weren't for these guys, I mean, this game would be out of hand already.
Yeah, the only offense we have to talk about is Baltimore's passing game. Wigmore's hit 3 different receivers for touchdowns, Chima, Holder, and Irvin. The route trees have been exceptional. Everybody's getting involved, although Hayden does not have a target. He's more of a blocking tight end in this season's scheme. But this Lone Star defense has to stop getting beat over the top. It seems almost very extremely risk-reward, Mike. Either they're getting an interception or they're just getting gassed and giving up points.
Yeah, Cam, as you mentioned, Wigmore, I mean, he came out, extremely hot. Very first minute of the game, hit Daly Holder on a 67-yard touchdown catch. Last possession of the first quarter, he hit Mac Chima on another long touchdown. Baltimore averaging like over 10 yards per play right now. So, I mean, yeah, Lone Star's defense up, making plays and keeping them in the game, but they have really not, slowed Baltimore down at all. And offensively for Lone Star, man, and if they don't get anything going, this is going to be a long second half for those guys.
And Lone Star averaging 3 yards a play. It's crazy. Baltimore averaging about 1.4 points per play right now in the first half. That is how crazy good their offense has been. And, of course, Austin Brigham has 2 picks, one in the end zone that took away 7 points from Lone Star, and then a pick 6 that gave Baltimore 7 points. So he is responsible potentially for the entire 14-point swing and the 12-point lead that Baltimore has. Final thoughts on the first half, Mike, before we get to Jay.
One other observation. I mean, Baltimore did a great job of containing Ike McBride. She has gotten, really nothing going on the ground at all. Benji Madsen mentioned the comeback that Lone Star had against Queen City a few weeks ago, but a huge part of that comeback was that Ike McBride, even though they were down, she was being effective in the first half and keeping these guys, pretty much in that game. And then to prove fruitful in the second half. But, Baltimore all over her right now. Lone Star going to have to get her going if they want to come back and win this game.
We'll talk about McBride a little bit in our second half keys coming up. But first, Mike and I sat down with Jay Hayden. He has a wonderful, supportive family. He's had an amazing SFL journey as a 5th rounder to an SFL champion. He shows off his championship ring and more here in our halftime interview. Take a listen. With us today on the SFL Halftime Report, the tight end of the Baltimore Vultures, Jay Hayden, and probably a Vulture super fan, or at least super player. I don't know what he would call himself, but we're here with him. Jay, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. How you guys doing?
Hey, doing good, Jay. Glad to have you, man. Hey, I'll start off by asking you, man, can you tell the SFL public, man, a little bit about your journey? How did you find the league? How did you come about being a Baltimore Vulture?
Well, I think it's kind of a similar story to what I found out a lot of the players and coaches, the way that they found the league. I've always been a huge fan of the game, to be honest with you, the all-pro game. And it just so happened one day that I was doing a little research just to see if there had been any sort of developments in terms of, if the game was going to be updated and put on a different platform or anything like that. So I got onto the Google machine, and next thing you know, I see this league called SFL. And I believe there was an article written about it in Game Informer magazine. And so, I got deep into the article, and I was like, well, this definitely sounds like something I want to be a part of. So I went to the website, joined a Discord server, and got in contact with every owner and every GM that I could. And I believe it was second night of draft night of before season 15, second or third night. And finally I got a chance to speak again with TJ of Baltimore. And, I told him, I guess in so many words, hey, I'm ready whenever you guys are ready, that kind of thing, whenever you guys are ready to get started, I'm ready to be picked up and ready to hit the ground running. And he said, well, get in contact with Chad. So, I got in contact with Chad, who's, obviously it's not with Baltimore anymore. It's now with London, but got in contact with him, and he basically grilled me for a little bit and asked a few questions about same thing, my background and what my intentions were and what they were looking for, and if that was something I was interested in. And I told him absolutely, I just want to be a part of the league. Whatever you guys need me to do, I'll do it. So next thing you know, he said, all right, well, if you're watching, we're about to pick you up, we're about to draft you right now. So it just so happened I had the draft hooked up to the television, so I'm watching it. My kids are there, and next thing you know, I hear Cam say, the 86th pick, we're picking up, they're getting Jay Hayden. So it's a night for sure to remember.
Yeah, and quick follow up to that, man. What was that like, just to hear your name on TV and doing like a professional draft like that? What was that like?
It sounds cliche. And perhaps a little hyperbole, but honestly, it's not, man. It was a dream come true. I mean, my whole life I've always been a huge sports fan, and basketball, football specifically. But when you're like me, I'm from the state of Alabama. Down in the South, football is kind of king. And so I've always been in love with the game of football, and of course, we've all had these dreams and aspirations of one day being, having our name called and, coming up to the podium and shaking the commissioner's hand and all those things. And although I haven't gotten that opportunity yet to shake the commissioner's hand, but, just to be able to watch at home. And like I said, I had my kids with me. I had my wife with me. And to be honest, they kind of looked at the television and was like, what's going on right now, Dad? Is that actually you? And I'm like, yeah, that's Dad. So the next thing you know, they kind of looked at each other, and my two oldest kids, my daughter Ariana and my son Jordan, they just started jumping around the living room, like, oh my God, I'm so proud of my dad, that kind of thing.
Right.
Even though they had no clue what was going on,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's for sure. It was a night to remember. I'll always remember that experience.
Jay, now you've been on TV a number of times, back in the playoffs here. I mean, you're like the Tom Brady without the stats. You already got the championship draft in the 5th round. I mean, and there it is. Can you put that up close to the camera?
Bring it a little closer.
Yeah, for the people at home. Yeah, there's your championship ring. How often do you wear it? Does it sit in a case? Do you wear it all the time? Do you show off to your friends? What's the schedule for the ring?
It would be easier to tell you, like, I guess, how often I don't wear it. That would be an easier question to answer. No, I honestly, the majority of this season, yes, I've had it on. But the closer we've gotten to playoff time, to be honest with you, I've had it in the case, and it's just one of those things where, I mean, you've heard people say it in the past, players and coaches, that they want to focus on the current season. What is the current goal? What are we trying to achieve? And it's no different for me, and I don't think it's really any different for any other guys on our team. Like, we love the fact that we can say that we'll always be able to say we were SFL champions in season 15. And it's, it truly is gratifying knowing the amount of work that we put into it to achieve that goal. But it doesn't stop there. The SFL didn't stop in season 15. We're currently in the playoffs in season 16 now. So the closer we got to playoff time, I put it in the box and just kind of focused on, the goal of obtaining ring number 2, hopefully. So that's what we're focused on now.
Yeah, and Jay, as you mentioned, man, your family was there with you on, draft night when you were drafted, supporting you and everything. How do speak to how that feels to have your family support in that manner in one of your hobbies and something that you're interested in? How does that feel to have full family support with something like that?
Incredible, incredible. I've got the best family in the world, man. I mean, it's just to, again, like you said, to be able to experience that with them, and the fact that, again, although complete transparency, again, the kids didn't have a clue what was going on. Just the fact that they were able to experience that with me, and now that I've gotten a chance to get my feet wet, and I'm in season 2, the end of season 2 now, going into season 3, and now they've got a better understanding. And to be frank, I've got a better understanding of how things operate in our league. But to be able to experience that with them, and for them to show the support and the joy, that they did, it was awesome. I mean, they're the best for sure.
Jay, I know you don't have the best internet out there in Alabama. We've talked about that once or twice before, and you talk about how important it was that the games were on national TV, so that you could watch it through cable satellite. And I don't think a lot of people, even I, sitting here producing most of the games, over the weekend, it's hard to grasp as a person that's kind of in the league, just how many people are watching the games at home. Watching people like yourself play. What does that feel like? I'm never going to get that feeling of watching myself play on TV, but what is that like to be able to turn on your cable satellite package and actually get a chance to see you play and hear your name called?
Something I thought that window of opportunity had closed. I kind of felt like there was no possible way for me to ever experience anything like that. I mean, we fans of sports and different organizations. We watch it, whether it's on Monday night or Sunday night or Saturday morning, whatever the day is. Whenever you're watching whatever sport it is that you're a fan of, course you have these dreams in the moment that man, it would be awesome if I had a chance to experience that. It'd be awesome if I had a chance to be on television and hear my name, and all of those things, and just to be able to now, regardless of what it is that you actually do, and how we like to say your real life kind of thing, whatever your background is, to be able to like you said, literally turn on television, not go and something that you recorded yourself and say, hey, let me let my buddies check out something that I recorded or whatever. It's like, no, this is something that is actually broadcast nationwide on television, for you to check out, and anybody can see it, and thousands of people get an opportunity, to see someone, like your player, that's your player, and to be able to hear your name, and in moments where maybe you make a big play, you make a big tackle, a touchdown, a big catch, whatever it is, and to be able to hear, our broadcasters, which I've said this before on my little social media, pages and such, man, we've got the best play-by-play people that it is, and I'll put them up against anybody, so it's to be able to hear them, basically give you your quote unquote praises, or whatever you want to, call it. It's an incredible feeling. I mean, it truly is.
Mike, last question before we get Jay out. What you got for him?
Yeah, Jay, obviously, Baltimore defending champions have a tough matchup with, Lone Star this weekend. You beat these guys a few weeks ago in a tight ball game. And you guys are, first game of the playoffs for you guys. Talk about defending the title. What would it feel like to, repeat and maybe possibly get a second ring on that finger?
Well, we definitely have our hands full with, with our game against Lone Star for sure. I mean, we did. We played them a couple of weeks back, and it was a really tough game. We came out with the victory against Lone Star, but it wasn't easy by any means. I mean, whenever you're going up against a team where you've got a quarterback that's as efficient and as protective of the ball as Ace Finnick is, you truly, you have to be on your P's and Q's defensively, and of course us on the offensive side of the ball, we have to be mindful The linebackers that they have, Brian Craven and Coach Brian Craven, and we have to be mindful of the defensive backs that they have. I'm a huge fan of the free safety, I believe Evan Lacey that they have, and the strong safeties. I mean, I'm telling you this, you watch the film on them prior to playing them, and you're like, oh, okay, they obviously they're well coached. Obviously, they game plan really well. But you don't realize, and I'm speaking specifically about their strong safeties, Lincoln Kingseed and Doug Day. You don't realize just how big and freaking physical those strong safeties are until you get your guys out there and compare the size of them and how they play. So, we're right now the focus mainly is to get past Lone Star, and that's going to be a tough task in and of itself. So hopefully we can have the same outcome that we had a couple of weeks ago with them, but I'm certain it's not going to be a cakewalk by any means.
Baltimore trying to become the first team to win back-to-back championships since Florida did it as Alaska in season 12. That was almost 2 years ago. So we'll see if Baltimore can get it done. Jay, thanks for joining us. Shout outs to you and your family. And good luck the rest of the way. It's going to be fun.
Cam, Mike, I appreciate the time. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Jay.
All right, thanks, Jay.
I appreciate it.
That was a great interview with Jay, and Baltimore's having a good first half. Okay, Mike, keys to the second half. Let's start with yours.
Yeah, Cam, a quick key for Baltimore is basically to keep doing what they're doing, forcing Ace Finnick to beat them through the air, and keeping Ike McBride in control, and keeping her run per carry as low as it is thus far in this game. One key for Lone Star is to get the big tight ends Williams more involved. I mean, they did have some success with that early in first half, and I like the little quick outs that they were doing to Axis and Soto because Baltimore seems to be covering them deep. I think those are two keys in cashing in on some of these drives once they can move the chains a little bit.
Yeah, I think for Baltimore, it's just not to get greedy. You learned your lesson in the first half, and it got Lone Star back in the game. They've been very aggressive today, and some of that has resulted in touchdowns, but these interceptions are the only thing keeping Lone Star in the game. I think Baltimore's got to be a little bit quieter offensively, take care of the ball. And then for Lone Star, I think you still have to keep giving Ike McBride the ball. She's so dangerous. If she can just break a couple tackles, right? Now all of a sudden there's respect for both run and the pass game. And in the first time Lone Star played Baltimore, they really kind of went away from her in the second half. I'd like to see them try to get her going so that they can have some balance. I don't think they're going to win this game if it's all in the arm of Ace Fennick. He has not completed a pass of over 30 yards yet. So they have not had the deep threat that Baltimore has had. We'll find out what happens in the second half after this. Thanks, Mike, for joining me. Thanks to Jay and his family for the halftime interview. And we will see you on the other side of the break for the second half of Lone Star and Baltimore. You're watching the Simulation Football League quarterfinals on Next Level Sports.
It's time for the second half here from Vultures Field in Baltimore. My name is Michael Trubello. Benji Matson joins me on analysis. Stephen Hacker is our stats crew. Thanks to Mike St. Green and Cameron Irvine to the studio for that halftime report. We're underway with the second half. Benji, I know they did a pretty good job of it at halftime, but in a few sentences, what was your take on the first half that seemed to have a little bit of everything?
It did have a little bit of everything. I think you could just break it down to Baltimore playing at home. They're the defending champs, and they were pushing all the right buttons in that first half. After a little bit of a shaky start, Jack Wigmore, 3 touchdowns in that first half. Now 2 interceptions. They're letting Lone Star hang around. They got to be careful here. Starting off the second half, Lone Star at the ball.
Look out.
Just
Going
like that.
down is Ace Fennec. First play from scrimmage and already a sack by the defensive line of Baltimore. That's, I think, the first time I've said Saron Yates' name since the player introductions, but he does have 11 sacks on the season. Number 11 coming right there.
Yeah, been largely quiet today. One of the top 10 or league leaders in sacks from his defensive tackle spot. 11.5 would be right there. And you know what better time than now for Saron Yates to make his presence known for that Vultures front.
Over the middle. Batted away. Excellent play out there. That's tough to defend Adam Williams one-on-one. But it's 3rd and 13 as Marvin Himes gets it done again on the outside corner.
Ace Fennec just didn't put enough air underneath that ball. Adam Williams was running a great route there. That ball was knocked away. Sets up a 3rd and 13. If you're Lone Star, you don't want to get out. You don't have to leave the field right now. But this is a tough task here, 3rd and long.
This is a big play in the grand scheme of things. Fennec's going to go long, and it's going to be picked off. He was looking for Dave Axis, and all he found was the veteran, Troy Loshaw. Interception number 13 on the season for the 6th season veteran Baltimore safety.
Just like that, the first few plays of this game, we mentioned, or the second half, we mentioned Saron Yates' name, big sack. And now Troy Loshaw, their leader, that free safety spot with his 13th interception. 2 huge Vultures, huge names. We just mentioned them for the first time in this game. Big impact right off the bat by their leaders on this defense here early in the second half.
And it sets up Baltimore excellently in Lone Star territory. That was career interception number 45 for Troy Loshaw. He is now in the top 15 all-time in interceptions in Simulation Football League history.
He's had a fantastic season. He's a vulture, and all he does is vulture the ball from opposing quarterbacks.
The far sideline caught for a first down by Lloyd Graham Jr. Neither of the tight ends really getting much love in the passing game. Jay Hayden doesn't have a target, and that is only the 2nd catch for Lloyd Graham Jr. He's 2 for 2 for 20 yards, and it's first down just shy of the red zone for Baltimore. Looking to get on top early, already up by 12, 28-16. Plenty of time to float it to the far sideline, and it's knocked away by Evan Lacey. Another player we really haven't mentioned outside of the player interviews. Lacey, a rookie, taken to the 2nd round of the draft this year, 35 overall, out of San Jose. Has 6 interceptions on the season and 1 pick six.
Evan Lacey's had a great season in his rookie campaign. Makes a big play there, tips that ball away. Great play at the right time for that defender.
Here's T-Roy Gaines, and once again, no love for the running backs, either of them. As nice tackle on the outside by Freddie Trammell, and it's 3rd down and 9.
And now the Lone Star Glory defense with a big 3rd down of their own here. We just saw a big 3rd down by Vultures. They were able to get off the field by virtue of a interception. But now can Lone Star Glory prevent this conversion here, hold them to a field goal attempt?
Wingmore airs it out to the end zone. What a burst of speed for the touchdown by Mac Chima. He left his defender in the dust and gets rewarded with 6 points.
Second touchdown on the game for Mac Chima. Makes it look too easy. Catches Mickey McGuire flat-footed there and just bolts the corner of that end zone. And yeah, just like that. Easy play, easy pitch and catch from the quarterback, Jack Wigmore, to Mac Chima for the score.
Baltimore extends the lead. What was 12 is now 19, and it's 35-16, and Lone Star will now have to surpass their average points per game to get back into this one. They averaged 28.7. But, as we mentioned in the first half, have scored to the 40s multiple times this season, are no stranger to dynamic games. And they're no stranger to winning close games either, so I wouldn't put it by Lone Star to try and make a stab at it, but it has to start right here from the 25-yard line.
And we've seen Lone Star Glory score points in bunches this season. If you just break it down, they need 3 touchdowns, and there's still almost an entire half of football to play here. They need 3 scores, and they need their defense to button things up. It starts with Ace Finnick right now. 3 interceptions, not the day they thought he was going to have coming out here today, but he can still redeem himself starting right here at this drive.
Short pass over the middle, caught for a first down. That's John Chapman, one of the backup wide receivers in the slot, and it's 1st and 10 for Lone Star.
And that's a great start. Picks up the first down there. Ace Finnick dropped back. Took a larger drop back there and gave himself some extra time to watch, and he waited patiently until his receiver broke open for that one.
Look out. Pressure in the backfield. Escaping is Finnick. He's going to be run down from behind after a gain of 5 by Al Walker, but that's the second time in this game we've seen Ace Finnick put on the dancing shoes and scramble.
Yeah, Ace Finnick's going to be listed with a 5-yard rush there in the stat sheet, which doesn't look like much, but that was a huge play. Avoids the loss, shuffles his feet in the pocket, and makes a positive gain.
And Ike McBride now shows off the wheels and a little bit of the power and gets a first down into Baltimore territory.
And that just makes that Ace Finnick play 1 down ago that much bigger. Sets up a 2nd and 5. Positive yardage gain there on the ground by Ike McBride. So they're not panicking here. They know they're down, but they're not pressing. Still a ton of time left in this game here in the second half. So early on in this drive, Lone Star Glory is looking good. They're taking their time.
Excellent block by Ryland Caudill to get a lane for McBride to run in, and now floated to the near sideline, and Adam Williams fights through some contact and is down to the Baltimore 23. Ben stacking paper with the potential touchdown-saving tackle.
They've tried to hit Adam Williams on this corner route a couple times earlier in the game, and Ace Finnick just didn't get enough air underneath the ball, and it was knocked away for incompletions a few times, but here he's able to connect, and Adam Williams is vital. He's a huge target. He was open on that play, and Ace dialed one in and hit his tight end.
McBride trying to pick her way through the defensive line, hauled down from behind, and it'll be 2nd down and 7. A chance, a small chance, but a chance for Charles Doherty and Wally Herman to get some rarefied air and become just the 6th owners to make the playoffs each of their first 2 seasons, and the first co-owner group to win 2 games in those first 2 seasons in the progression era. The only other owners to do that is Max Paul of the Florida Storm and Frank Gooden of the Jacksonville Kings, and we know how those 2 organizations stood up. And we could have been talking about Frank Gooden in that same rarefied air if Jacksonville had beaten Lone Star last week. Floated over the middle, in and out of the hand of Frank Smith, and he will want that one back. But it is 4th down, and Lone Star will send out the kicking unit led by Hugh Purvis.
Ace took the squad down the field. They got into the red zone. This Vultures defense tightened and did not allow them any further. Points on the board here are so important for Lone Star Glory. Attempting the field goal here. Not the result they wanted, but that was a good drive. And I think we see a calm Ace Finnick has come to play here in the second half.
This will be about a 36-yarder for Parvis. And swings the right foot through it and gets it to go from 36 yards. And it is 35-19 as the gap is closed ever so slowly. We will take a break, and when we come back, Baltimore tries to extend their lead and book their place in the semifinals. This is the Simulation Football League quarterfinals on Next Level Sports. Back in Baltimore, Lone Star edges ever closer to trying to come back into this game against Baltimore. Giovanni Bolt bounces the return outside, gets up near the 40. And it's just about clock management here. And I say that with 5:47 to go in the third. And Baltimore only has a 2-possession lead. But it really is about clock management, and it's very vital for the Vultures to get T-Roy Gaines going and churn some clock here.
Yeah, it's the perfect time to do it. If you're ever going to do it now. Get this rock to T-Roy Gaines.
Wingmore short over the middle, pass is caught. Only a gain of 5 as Mac Chima, who has 2 touchdowns today, is hit by a number of Lone Star defenders. So what's the way back for Lone Star? We know on the defensive side they probably can't give up any more points, but on the offensive side, what's the way back in?
Well, we saw Ace lead them on a good solid drive there. They just got to get the ball back. Got to get the ball back, and don't try and score 16 points in one play because it's impossible. Just chip away. Still plenty of time. First things first, though, for Lone Star Glory, you got to get off the field here on defense. Sets up 3rd and 5. Jack Wigmore is probably going to be dropping back to throw the ball here at 3rd and 5. So bring the personnel in, but just, again, watch out behind you. Don't let him get one of these receivers open down the field.
Watch Ivory Irvin. He's matched up one-on-one with Bo Martin Jr. to the near side of the screen. He's going to look that way, and Irvin bails him out for a tough throw. First down for Baltimore inside Lone Star territory.
And Vultures overload the formation. 4 receivers on the right side of the field. It lets Ivory Irvin operate in space, and Lone Star gives him all the space he wants there. He's able to slice right through that zone and connects with Jack Wigmore on the nice pass there. It's a big first down for the Vultures, and it keeps the clock moving. Now we're going to see here, are they going to start running this ball or not?
Well, they are going to run the ball, and they're going to go backwards 1 yard. A point I wanted to make, and a question I wanted to ask you back in the first half but never got a chance. Has, in your mind, Ivory Irvin taken over as the number 1 receiver in the SFL? Because I feel like it's close.
He's had 2 amazing seasons, and he does play for the defending league champions. So I do think there is something to be said for Ivory Irvin, the man they call Willie Clutch, sitting at the top of a very talented SFL receiver field. And, you know, if they go on to win this game today, Ivory Irvin and Jack Wigmore continue to play so well together en route to another championship, I think that you could list Ivory Irvin at the top of that wide receiver list for sure.
Well, Wigmore almost throws another pick as it was resting on the back of the intended receiver, Damon Morehouse. And unfortunately, this is going to end in a Shark Tarkington field goal attempt, or, well, it's fortunate if you're Lone Star. After giving up that big play to Irvin, it'll be a long field goal as well for Tarkington.
100% on the season. The Shark has got a leg here. Could be trading field goals at this point, but this is a win for Lone Star to get Baltimore off the field without scoring a touchdown.
The big left foot is through and good from 35 yards, and the gap widens back to 38 to 19. And we shall see if Lone Star has any answers on offense, because they got to start turning up the volume here. Got to start going downfield. None of this dink and dunk stuff with Williams, and I think they almost have to abandon the run game at this point with 3 minutes left to go in the third.
I think they definitely need to be opportunistic and need to be willing to take the big shots down the field. 3 interceptions for Ace, but he's got to forget about that now. We have not seen Deuce Finnick get involved yet. No targets, or 1 target, no receptions for Deuce as they run this ball back and set up for this drive here. Season's on the line for Lone Star Glory. They've come back in games like this before this season. They know they can do it. It's just a matter of the 11 men on the field right now, men and women, believing that they can do it. Now's the time to get started. But yeah, I agree. They do need to be opportunistic and be looking to take some shots down the field right now.
Well, opportunistic is what they were in the first half when they had that 9-7 lead. Going down the field and caught by Soto. Oh, Soto breaks a tackle, and it's only the speed of Giovanni Bolt that prevents Greg Soto from going all the way.
That is the very definition of an opportunistic play. Greg Soto, the Cuban missile on the outside there. They knew where they were going on first down. They made that connection so many times this season. Ace to Greg Soto on the outside like that. Great play. You get to the second level in between the cornerback and, of course, Giovanni Bolt closes quickly like he does to bring him down. But that's a huge play when needed it, and it starts this drive. Some good momentum here for Lone Star.
Ike McBride shakes off a tackle, gets close to the 20. They'll spot her at the 21-yard line. Second down and 3. Oh boy, it almost feels like this game is teetering on the edge of getting back to that sort of level of intensity we had in the first half, because I feel like it's cooled down a bit coming out of the break.
Yeah, Ace needs to do something. Lone Star needs to do something different right now. They're in this red zone or right on the precipice. They have not had good luck here today. One interception, one field goal in their previous drive. Whatever it is, now's the time to figure it out. They got a 3rd and 3 here. They can't afford another field goal, but they've got so many weapons. Maybe line them all up, spread the Vultures out wide, come underneath for something easy here to pick up this first down and then attack the end zone.
Over the middle. Nice catch in traffic. First down and goal from the 9. It's Greg Soto again. He's coming in clutch on this all-important Lone Star drive, and the Glory are in business. Remember, the only touchdown they scored today, they scored from the 1-yard line after an interception right at the end of the first half. It's going to be McBride. She's going to go up the middle, and she's going to be stopped at the 4. A little bit of running room for Ike McBride has been found on this drive. A couple of good runs, and now Lone Star potentially has 2 shots at this from inside the 5.
They're not afraid to give the ball to Ike McBride. She's starting to gain some momentum here. Big Cameron Collier not on the field right now. So they might be looking for something on the outside of one of the receivers here, or Ike McBride swinging to the near side of the field here.
McBride dives, touchdown, Lone Star! Ike McBride is responsible for both Lone Star offensive touchdowns, and this game is not quite over yet.
Ike McBride starting to get her tough and rumble on, is what they so affectionately call her in Lone Star. Big drive there for Ike McBride, able to get those yards on the ground and plummet in for the touchdown. Just like that, 3rd quarter is already gone, but Lone Star's hanging around here. Successful after point attempt here brings this gap back down to 12 points with an entire 4th quarter to play.
It's a 2-possession game with an entire quarter to go. Extra point up and good. Oh boy, hold on to your hats. If Lone Star can get another stop, we could be in business here.
And for Baltimore, are they going to change up their approach on offense now, or are they just going to make Lone Star Glory come and get them? Looking like Jack Wigmore is happy to play the short passing game till they get in these 3rd down situations, and then they're looking for their stars on the outside, where there seems to be room to run for Ivory Irvin and Mac Chima here in this game today, and Daly Holder. This is going to be some interesting chess here right now with a full quarter and a little bit of change here to go. This Baltimore Vultures offense now taking the field against Lone Star. They need to try and play keep away. Let's just see how they decide to go about doing that.
Under a minute to go, 3rd quarter. In the gun is Jack Wigmore. Wigmore low snap. Plenty of time. The left-hander uncorks, and it's caught down the sideline. You gotta be kidding me. 1 play, touchdown, hat trick, hero, Mac Chima.
Same route, same play that he scored on earlier. Mac Chima, mac and cheese. With this 3rd touchdown on the game, again, perfect route, sticks his foot in the ground, and they knew right where they were going on this first down play. Jack Wigmore hooking up with Mac Chima. They just make it look so easy. They're just waiting for Lone Star Glory to come and get them, but at this point, it might be too much for the Glory.
It's just been a tale of 2 styles. Lone Star trying to work their way down the field with medium-range passes and runs. Baltimore says, enough of that. We're just going to hit you in the face over and over again with long passes. And it's 45-26, and Baltimore has now surpassed the highest scoring margin that Lone Star has had all season. So to make an improbable comeback, The Glory will have to score more points in this game than they have all year long. Visit the all-new SFL League website at www.simulationfl.net for info on how to create a player, join our community, the league, and the teams that play in it. Links to apparel, helmets, and a comprehensive history of the Simulation Football League. It's over 1,500 games and thousands of players who have hit the virtual field. The SFL, we put the fan in fantasy. 44 seconds left for Lone Star to make some sort of strike back here. Now down 45-26. Into the flat. It's caught by Juice Fennick, and his first catch of the game goes for 9 yards.
The difference between these two offenses today is that Baltimore hasn't hesitated to try to go downfield, and they've made it work 4 different times between Mac Chima's 3 touchdowns. Daley Holder had a big score. Of course, Ivory Urban's gotten loose for some big gains too. They're not hesitating to go down the field today.
That pass intended for Adam Williams was deflected out of play, 3rd down and 1. So we'll get one more play in this 3rd quarter with 8 seconds to go.
And then just to finish out that thought, we see still a little bit of nickel and dime here for Lone Star. Yes, they're trying to pick up a first down, keep this drive going. 3rd and 1, now as we come to the end of this 3rd quarter, when are they going to start slinging it?
Well, they don't do it that time. They're just going to pick up the first down with Ike McBride, who has come into this game as it has gone on, but it's going to take a miracle now as Baltimore leads 45-26 as we head to the 4th. This is the Simulation Football League quarterfinal round on Next Level Sports. Fourth quarter on tap. It's all Baltimore right now. The Vultures look to secure a trip to the semifinals. They've got a 45-26 lead over the Lone Star Glory. Up the middle for not much gain goes Ike McBride. And if the Vultures do win today, Baltimore will make the Final Four for the 4th time in 6 seasons. And they've made the playoffs all 6 of those seasons. One of the most consistent teams in the Simulation Football League, as once again McBride doesn't find much on the ground.
Kudos to the Vultures there. The rich get richer, it seems. But when the time comes to button it up and go to work in the playoffs, Vultures always come to play. So kudos. They are the defending champions for a reason. They've looked like it today. Now with 1 quarter to play, can they hold on against Ace Finnick and the Lone Star Glory?
Well, Ace Finnick tried to pull a Jack Wingmore and go deep on the corner, but it didn't go anywhere, and here's William Zudefeld. An interesting stat we were talking about during the break is that Baltimore has 10 possessions in the ball game and 10 first down conversions. They have 7 scoring drives and 2 interceptions. And as Cameron Irvine said to me in the chat as we were waiting to come back from break, who needs first downs when you've got touchdowns?
And the Vultures have big touchdowns today. Scoring strikes of 69, 67, 46, and 27 yards. It's kind of head scratching a little bit to see those numbers when we're talking about them now that we're in the 4th quarter. Things have just seemingly gone right or gone Baltimore's way all day today.
Well, that one thing that really has gone Baltimore's way on defense is the way that this defensive line played. That's the 2nd sack for Jukin Rukin on the day, and we didn't think coming into the game that Lone Star's defensive line would be their strong suit, but they really have.
They've sacked Jack Wigmore 4 times on the day. It's great that they were able to get that pressure up front today. They just haven't been able to make Jack Wigmore very comfortable in the pocket.
Oh, look out. Fumble. It is recovered, it looks like, by Lone Star. They are celebrating, and it's Doug Day. I think that's the first time we've mentioned the strong safety out of Vancouver since the opening drive of the game when I was going over the rosters.
I think you're right there. Doug Day jumps on that ball. Give that to me. He wants to get this offense back on the field. Oh, I've got a challenge. They're throwing the laundry on the field.
Yep, we've got a challenge flag thrown by head coach Tim Johnston. And we will see. Now, I think Daley Holder has possession here. He takes 3 steps. He tries to make a spin move to get by Freddie Trammell. That's got to be possession.
After review, the play stands. The receiver did not.
And it is. Brian Craven and the rest of the Lone Star coaching staff are happy, and they got the ball back inside Baltimore territory. The Vultures lose timeout. I don't think they'll be too beat up about that with a 45-26 lead.
No, they'll let that one slide this time. Unfortunate play there and fumble, but does set up the Glory here in good field position. Can they get a fast score here on this drive?
From the 36, into the flat, tipped and picked off, into the hands of the defensive back, and running it back the other way is, so I flip a page in my notes, Alvin Mack, who has his 2nd interception of the season.
Great play by outside linebacker Alvin Mack on the tip drill, reels that one in just when you were talking about Ace and the Glory getting right back into this game. This Vultures defense, like they've done so many times this season, creates another turnover, and the ball goes back the other way. Jack Wigmore is back on the field, looking to salt this thing away for the Vultures.
The sands of time are draining away from Lone Star Glory's Season 16 campaign, and they're down by more. Ivory Irvin with the burn post route wide open. Touchdown Baltimore. They've put a 50-burger on Lone Star in the quarterfinals.
Ivory Irvin, Jack Wigmore, this entire Vultures offense just has it working today, dialed in against one of the better overall pass defenses in the SFL. They're just having a game today. Sometimes this happens. They make all the right calls. They push all the right buttons. But Jack Wigmore, to his receivers, Ivory Irvin, Daley Holder, Mac Chima. These three wide receivers have had a tremendous game today. Kudos to this Vultures offense. Now have 52 points on the board. This team does. Full team effort today. Very impressive by the Vultures.
A statement of intent by the Baltimore Vultures. The crown is still theirs, and they're coming to keep it. As that one pretty much puts the final nail in Lone Star's coffin with 9 minutes to go. Sector 6 is the official apparel provider of the Simulation Football League. Visit sector6apparel.com or our website at simulationfl.net for replica team jerseys, completely customized jackets, flags, t-shirts, and more that help each team stand out from their opponents. Get the gear the fans wear with Sector 6 and the SFL. Playing for Pride now as Lone Star is back on the field. Ace Fennec under center. Just over 9 minutes to go. A duck pass over the middle misses everybody. It was behind Adam Williams, who was the intended receiver. 2nd down and 10.
Cyron Yates putting pressure on Ace Finnick there. The Baltimore defensive front, they've also had a good game today. We touched on the Lone Star Glory defensive front. 4 sacks for them today. Just 2 sacks for the Baltimore front, but on numerous occasions they have been able to get in and put pressure on Ace Finnick. They just made him uncomfortable all day long today. Good pressure up front by the Vultures front 4.
Floated into the flat for McBride, makes a long turn, shoves the defender to the ground, and picks up a fresh set of downs up to the 34-yard line.
A great play for Ike McBride. Doesn't go out of bounds, charges upfield. Great stiff arm there by Ike McBride, who's still playing tough and rumble here, playing for Pride, as you mentioned, as this fourth quarter begins to wind down a bit for the Glory.
1st and 10. Clock runs with 8:50 to go. Fennec going to take a shot, has a receiver out there, and it's caught. Dragged down at the 30-yard line is Dave Axis, who leapt off the line and burned Marvin Himes, but Himes was able to recover.
That's another pattern that Ace has been trying to hit all day long, and here they finally get it dialed in. He's able to hit Axis on the fly, reels that one in. You would have liked to have seen them try those throws a bit earlier in the game. I know they're going up against a tough Vultures defense who denied them on several occasions, but here they're able to get one through and make it work. That was a great connection.
To the near side, here's Greg Soto. Mac Chima, leading receiver of the game, 149 yards and 3 touchdowns. And candidate for player of the game honors, but I think it's got to go to Wigmore, right? He's been wheeling and dealing all day long. McBride, some space to work with, picks up a 1st down, and gets shoved out of bounds by Nolan Pierce. Nolan Pierce, one of those 2nd-year players that we haven't really talked about today. 63 tackles and a half sack in the regular season, as well as 10 tackles for loss.
One of a number of talented sophomore players on that Vultures defense. Nolan Big Daddy Pierce, 6'4", 241 pounds, out of West Virginia. Important part of this Vultures defense.
Not much space for McBride to go up the middle there. The SFL broadcast team is looking to add new talent to our ranks of broadcasters. Applications are being accepted now to try out for either play-by-play or analyst broadcasting positions. No prior experience is required, just a love for the game and a desire to succeed. The application can be found on our website at simulationfl.net/broadcasting. And once again, it's been a tough day for Ike McBride as she is unable to shake the first tackler at its 3rd down and 9.
And I believe that was Alvin Mack on the tackle, who's had quite a game today. All over the field for the Vultures. He including that interception off that tip pass on the previous drive. He's had a great game today, Alvin Mack has, from his outside linebacker spot.
Going to the end zone is Fennick, and wide open is Deuce. It's ace to Deuce for the touchdown.
There we go. Got it when dialed in. Deuce Fennick, rookie wide receivers, had a fantastic rookie campaign for the Glory. Here, he's on the receiving end of a bullet from his brother, Ace Fennick. That's a great connection that I'm sure the SFL and Lone Star is looking forward to for a long time. Ace to Deuce for 6. Great pitch and catch there between those two brothers.
Deuce Fennick went in the first round, number 15 overall from Ottawa. And that is his 7th touchdown on the season. And Lone Star brings it to a 19-point deficit, 52-33. 6 minutes and 31 seconds to go. Baltimore cruising to a quarterfinal win that will see them play either Las Vegas or Florida. If Las Vegas wins, then Baltimore will host the Fury in the semifinals. But if Florida wins, they will travel down south to South Florida to play the Storm. Either way, that'll be a very exciting semifinal action next weekend. Fumble on the return. Hold up. We could have some interesting things happening yet. I'm not sure who recovered it. It looks like Baltimore did. That is the wrong roster. Michael Cole, the offensive lineman, the tackle, picked up that fumble and saves a little bit of face for Giovanni Bolt.
Things would have really gotten interesting there if Lone Star could have recovered.
Oh, look out. Mac Chima wants 4. Mac Chima breaks a tackle. It's Cuatros for Chima. 4 touchdowns, and Baltimore piles it on at home in the quarterfinals.
Jack Wigmore not playing very nice anymore. He's got something to say. And here, Mac Chima on the receiving end of another touchdown reception. 4 on the day for Mac Chima. Let me do some quick math here, which was never my strong suit, Michael. 7 touchdowns, 7 touchdown passes on the day for Jack Wigmore. We've got him unofficially 22 for 28, 477 yards and 7 touchdowns. And Mac Chima, 4 on the day. I think that's about all you can say about that.
A record book breaking blitz. Or maybe not quite, but very close.
I don't know the last time I've seen anything like this. I think Baltimore has given something for their opponents down the road to be worried about, and I can already sense the coaches are digging into the playbook to figure out how to solve what they're seeing on the field right now.
3 of the last 4 Baltimore drives have lasted 1 play. Just selfishly, not taking anything away from Las Vegas, got an excellent shot. But I would love to see Florida win that matchup so we get Ron Cochran against Jack Wigmore in probably the matchup of the 2 hottest quarterbacks in the league right now going at it in the semifinals. That would be a matchup to watch.
That would be incredible. I think there are a few teams who will want to have something to say about that for sure. This weekend's games are only getting started. 3 more games after this one. Teams hungry to get to that next level. And Baltimore, man, they have made a statement here today that these other teams have got to come and rip this crown out of the Vultures' hands.
Well, coming up after this game, we've got a game with likely a complete opposite but no less compelling style as the Vancouver Legion face off against the Fort Worth Toros in the second semifinal. Both of those teams boast some of the best defenses and best rushing attacks in the league. Tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern, Florida takes on Las Vegas as a floater over the middle, avoids everybody. Florida hosts Las Vegas at 12:30 Eastern, and then at 2:40 Eastern, Denver faces upstart Arizona, who upset Mexico City in the quarterfinals. I think out of all the games, that Denver-Arizona has the potential to be the most lopsided, but you can't really rule out anybody at this stage.
All these teams are here in the playoffs for a reason, and to count out the Arizona Scorpions means you have to count out Eddie Gage and Ashley Jackson. You just don't do that in this league. So these next 3 games, these 6 teams coming up tonight and tomorrow, all deserving of their spots in the SFL playoffs this season.
But you will definitely want to stay with us here on Next Level Sports for Vancouver against Fort Worth as we come down now to just over 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Baltimore back out on the field after a 3-and-out from Lone Star. Jack Wingmore floats it short, caught, and only running backward. They'll give him a spot for 1. That's Lloyd Graham Jr.
Jack Wigmore is about to go over. We assume he's about to go over. I imagine he's got one more throw in him today. If his arm doesn't fall off, he's going to go over 500 yards passing with those 7 touchdowns. That's an incredible game, let alone an incredible game in the SFL playoffs against a very tough foe in the Lone Star Glory.
And it's been a tough day for T-Roy Gaines. He's really been the only Baltimore Vulture that's had a tough day. He had one big play on a catch on the outside, but other than that, he's been held to pretty much under 5 yards a carry.
And that was
and
such
now
a...
it's 3rd and 8 from midfield.
Looks like they're trying to drain a little bit of clock here. They do hand the ball off. I was going to say, Michael, I'm so sorry that coming into the game, we thought that notion that Baltimore entering the playoffs had to figure out a way to get T-Roy Gaines going on the ground if they were going to have a chance to win this game today. They just proved us wrong.
If you had told me before the game that Baltimore would get 59 points, I would be kind of shocked, but might believe it. If you had told me they'd get 59 points and T-Roy Gaines would be responsible for none of them, I wouldn't have believed you at all and told you you're crazy, but that is what has happened today. And with 3:16 to go, Lone Star will start at their own 15 after the first punt of the game from Baltimore punter Pablo Gates. Keep up with the SFL and its teams on social media at Simulationfl. Follow us on Twitter for weekly broadcast schedules to discover team content and stay up to date on SFL news. Let us know who your favorite team is and how you enjoy the broadcast each week with the hashtag #MakeAnImpact. Thank you for your support and viewership. Here's Soto, spins and steps out of bounds after a gain of 7. And this game is kind of... We started with one of the most exciting first quarters I can remember. And then it's been mostly all Baltimore since then. Yes, Lone Star has 33, but they've been down by double digits since early in the second quarter. High snap, Fennick over the middle underneath to Williams, and the tight end rumbles forward. Bit of an up-tempo offense here. Fennick underneath. Williams gets 6, and it's 2nd down and 4.
And even in the no huddle, they're just having difficulty finding anything open downfield. There's a great catch right there by Soto.
Yeah, Greg Soto, amidst a couple of Baltimore defenders makes a nice catch into Vulture territory. As Lone Star maintains this 5-wide set and continues to go up tempo. Fennick, middle, caught on a stretch. And that is Ross McGinnis into the ball game to get some minutes here late in the fourth quarter. Fennick hit as he throws, ball goes incomplete.
Looking for Dave Axis across the middle there. They're putting their best effort into getting this ball down the field for another score here. It's going to be a long ride home for the Glory after this one, as these clock starts to wind down there, but I hope the team doesn't get too down. I think the future is extremely bright for the Lone Star Glory. They just ran into a buzzsaw today in Baltimore.
There's a catch for Cameron Collier. The fullback really hasn't been a factor in this game, but has had a fantastic season. Leads all fullbacks in the league in carries, rushing yards, and touchdowns.
And throughout the season, Cameron Collier really formed a formidable 1-2 punch with his backfield mate, Ike McBride. She was a great addition to Lone Star, and they've really helped pace this offense. Didn't quite have the game they envisioned today.
Diving grab at the 5. Laying out is Deuce Fennick. And with that, we head to the 2-minute warning. Baltimore is in the semifinals, but Lone Star's trying to make the score respectable. This is the Simulation Football League on Next Level Sports. First and goal for the Lone Star Glory. Try to make this score respectable as we come down the home stretch here in Baltimore. Ace Fennick to the end zone. Touchdown, Deuce Fennick. The ace to deuce connection has dose touchdowns here in the fourth quarter. And the Lone Star Glory make it 59-39.
2 touchdowns on the day for Ace Fennick or to his brother, Deuce Fennick. That was a fast 69-yard drive, 8 plays. Game's been decided, but that was a good drive. Coach is always finding time to begin working on something new. That was a great time to get a drive-in, 2-minute drive-in, get some points on the board. Well-executed play there.
Extra point up and good. It is 59-39. to 40. And this has been about where the deficit has hovered all game, but somewhere between 19 and 24. It's been as low as 12 after Baltimore went on that 21-0 run after Lone Star went up 9-7 in the first quarter. Oh, look out! Here goes to the end zone. Oh, stopped at the 5-yard line.
Wow. I saw that one unfolding there, and I was like, you're kidding me, right? They're going to return this onside kick for a touchdown. That's so very Baltimore. But they're brought down short.
DeAndre Fields, the backup wide receiver. I was looking up a stat because I had an idea, and I just completely missed that because I thought, oh boy, it's an onside kick. This is gonna go for nothing.
I almost returned that one all the way back. But Lone Star Glory is able to drag him down short of the end zone. Now, can this defense come out on the field and just keep Baltimore out of this end zone? Well, it looks like they might be. Willing to maybe, they're going to pass this one.
They're going to pass it, and into the end zone goes Tyrone Means. Everybody getting involved, and unfortunately, that's Adam Jefferson, the backup quarterback, with the touchdown pass. So Jack Wingmore does not get an 8th touchdown, which would unofficially tie the record for most in a game, but he's sat on the bench and watching his backup ball out against Lone Star. And Baltimore has put up 65 on the Lone Star Glory today.
Everything's working. Everything's working for the Baltimore Vultures today. This was just going to be their day today. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Again, they were just a buzzsaw. And the Lone Star Glory just happened to be in their way today.
And if you were thinking this is the biggest win in playoff history, think again, because the Minneapolis Maulers scored over 70 in a playoff game in season 4. That was the record I was looking up. Also, most passing yard touchdowns in a game. So 1:42 to go, and Lone Star back on the ball, now down 66-40. Coming up on the SFL post-game show, Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green will analyze today's game, preview the next quarterfinal contest between Fort Worth and Vancouver, and hand out the game balls. It's all coming up on the SFL post-game update. In the flat to McBride. All right, so we just got confirmation that the 66 points scored by Baltimore today, as Fennick drops back, throws short, incomplete, is tied for the second most points scored in a single game in SFL history. The Minneapolis Maulers scored 66 in a 66-40 victory over Cleveland in 2015. So now that we've got a little bit of time to kill, Benji, I want to pose a question to you. What was your favorite moment of Season 16 so far? I know we've got the rest of the playoffs to go. Fennick, middle, knocked away. It doesn't have to be a moment that you've called or something that you've seen, but just give it to me.
Give it to you, huh? There's been a number of great moments this season, some great stories. You know, even here for the Lone Star Glory, we haven't called his name much today, but Evan Lacey, who takes the field for defense for the Lone Star Glory, we all heard about his story this season, honoring his son, Evan Lacey, by joining the league and playing as his son, Evan. I think we were all touched by that story, and it's just one of a number of fantastic and amazing stories that help make the SFL community what it is. But Michael, that's one of my favorite stories, the go-to stories here today, especially since we have Lone Star on the field, who are getting ready to head out into the sunset here. Even though they're on the wrong end of this score today, I think we should reiterate that they are headed in the right direction. They're a fantastic team, great ownership. We touched on that earlier. That's in the playoffs in their first 2 seasons. So I think Lone Star Glory, despite this outcome today, chins up, lads, headed in the right direction. Just ran into the machine that is the Baltimore Vultures today.
Well, I have 2 favorite moments of the season that I have called. One, and they both involve Los Angeles. One of them was Rochelle Colston's 4-interception game on her birthday in a game that Los Angeles won on a walk-off field goal against Atlanta. And then, I think 2 weeks later, Portland played Los Angeles and had a huge game, probably the best single-game performance in the Portland Fleet's young history, to beat LA, including a walk-off pick 6, which prevented Los Angeles from winning the division and allowed Vancouver to come back, play Los Angeles at the end of the season, and win that division. And of course, Los Angeles squeaked into the playoffs and got to the first round before losing to Earth. But man, that 2-week swing for Los Angeles was crazy. Over the middle and incomplete on 4th and 14.
And we wouldn't be here in Baltimore today for this game at this time if it weren't for another amazing moment at the end of the regular season in the final game. Baltimore on the road against the upstart DC Dragons, who they were a great story, new a returning franchise in the league this season. But Baltimore needed a miracle comeback against DC, including a touchdown on the very last play of the game, 1 second left, to secure their first round bye here in the playoffs this season. If it weren't for that moment, we might not be watching Lone Star and Baltimore today. It's just crazy how all these things play out over the course of a season. So many wonderful, amazing moments in the SFL.
Felix Maryland knocks down the 4th and 14 pass. And so Lone Star turns it over and Baltimore can just kneel out the clock. Remember, we've got more SFL quarterfinal action coming up for you right after this on Next Level Sports. It's the hard-charging Vancouver rushing attack against the best defense in the league in the Fort Worth Toros. That comes up next. But Baltimore with an offensive performance for the ages. The highest point scored by any team in the progression era. And they will walk out of here with a 66-40 victory in a game that featured 106 points.
Yeah, it's an incredible game. One that Baltimore will be able to look back at, especially if this run continues for them now as they head towards the semifinals with an impressive win today. Full team effort in this one. Special teams played solidly, but they almost didn't even have to. They could have just stayed at home for this one. This Vultures defense and then Jack Wigmore on this offense took care of this one today.
I'm looking at the over-under provided to us by Jack Stat on the bottom quarter of the screen. 45.5. I hope everybody picked the over because you needed it today. Baltimore to the semifinals for the 4th time in 6 seasons. They make a huge statement, winning 66-40 over the Lone Star Glory. The team statistics leap off the page, over 500 yards passing for Jack Wigmore, but don't count out what the offense for Lone Star was able to do. 400 passing yards for Ace Fennick, but in the end, it was just too little too late. as the Vultures ran away with it. Benji Matson to wrap it up.
Thanks, Michael. Welcome to the playoffs, Baltimore Vultures. Impressive victory at home against a very talented Lone Star Glory. I think one of the stats that sticks out to me the most there on that your earlier graphic, Lone Star almost doubled the time of possession of Baltimore. I think that's a testament to, well, what we saw happen, the quick, fast strike offense led by Jack Wigmore. Big play after big play after big play today. Baltimore's didn't need any time in this game today. They were efficient and deadly. And they are sending a message to the league, and with this victory today, Michael, I think that they are announcing that after surviving the regular season and capturing that first round bye in the playoffs, your defending SFL champion Baltimore Vultures are ready to make another run towards a title. Just impressive play on all across the board for the Vultures today. We see some highlights here. 4 touchdowns by Mac Chima, over 220 yards on just 6 receptions for Mac Chima. A $105 for Daly Holder and a touchdown, 2 touchdowns for Ivory Irvin. These receivers were just getting open left and right. And Jack Wigmore, 7 touchdowns, about 500 yards. Just an incredible career day for Jack Wigmore and this Baltimore Vultures team, Michael. I don't know what else to say to wrap this one up. Just impressive all around. And to Lone Star Glory, hold your heads high, gentlemen. We know that you'll be around for a very long time here. Congratulations on a well-played season.
The Baltimore Vultures win the highest scoring playoff game in league history, 66-40. I think we have no doubt who our player in the game is going to be. It's going to be Jack Wigmore. I come to the end, once again, of a season of SFL broadcasting. For all the people who have made this possible, Cameron Irvine, Mike Daggs, Chris Curtis, my broadcast partners all season long, Benji Matson, Eddie Gage, Rylan Caudill. Once again, thank you for tuning in and listening all season long. It is an honor and a pleasure to get behind the microphone and call games for you every week. I do want to say a special shout out to a good friend of mine, Matt Burton, who lost his father last night. I know you're listening, Matt, and I feel for you, man. We're going to head to break after our Jack Wigmore takes the player of the game performance with 498 yards officially and 7 touchdowns. When we come back, it's Cameron Irvine and Mike St. Green with a post-game update and get you ready for the second semifinal. Thank you all, and have a very pleasant good afternoon.
Welcome to the SFL postgame update. Sorry, Mike. Along with Mike St. Green, I'm Cameron Irvine, and I think Baltimore just scored again. Wow, what a performance. The Vultures roll Lone Star 66-40. That was a bit ugly, Mike, but Baltimore they're known for turning it on in the playoffs. That's how they were able to win the championship last season, and boy, that was impressive.
Yeah, Cam, as you know, I get paid the big bucks to analyze and and give you guys, what I saw. But man, I'm speechless after this game. Not so much with the outcome, as to the winner, but how they won this game. Lone Star had absolutely no answer for the Baltimore passing game at all. And it's really, really surprising coming in, being that, they shouldn't have game planned for any type of running game to have to respect, because, T-Roy Gaines really hadn't done anything, at least the old, like we were accustomed to seeing all season long. So, Mac Chima had a huge day. These guys must have saw something in the game plan to take advantage of some things. I love Gunny McGuire, but, man, he had a tough game trying to cover Mac Chima today.
Yeah, it was tough, and hopefully we get a more competitive game coming up on the back half of our doubleheader here tonight. They'll be getting underway here in just 2 minutes. Fort Worth and Vancouver up next. What do you think about this one, Mike?
Classic offense, great offense against great defense. With Vancouver being that great offense, we know they're going to, look downfield deep to their receivers, Brett Killian and Kendra Hall, as Tom Pepper, one of the top quarterbacks in the league. That secondary in Fort Worth are going to be looking, keep those receivers in control. Nacho Sicario, Aiden Davis, and the rookie Adam Leach are going to be looking to slow these guys down. But classic defense from Fort Worth. But hey, that offense is going to be led by Jason Williams. Vancouver is going to have to do a job on him to slow him down to keep the balanced offensive attack of Fort Worth in check.
It should be a good one, and it's coming up next. This has been the SFL postgame update, and we'll be back after this commercial break. These are the SFL quarterfinals on Next Level Sports.